Hi, I'm Kate from InVigorate, and I've just popped on here to do a quick video about setting yourself up in a strong and balanced way when you're on hands and knees. So I give this to a lot of my shoulder clients. Reasons being is that bringing the shoulder joint into a gentle bit of compression can be really great for activating the rotator cuff. It can be really great for making slightly unstable shoulders feel more secure. It can be actually quite a nice pain relieving exercise. So I'm going to talk you through how to balance front and back and balance above and below the shoulder in order to make sure that when you're in this position you're working you're not overworking one area too much, you're working in a nice balanced fashion, and then I'm going to show you a couple of ways to make things a little bit more difficult. So, coming on to hands and knees, and first of all I'm just going to make sure that I'm setting myself up well. So I want knees underneath hips, hands underneath shoulders. Quickly just check in with what your spine is doing. Now, we don't want to be overly hunched, we don't want to be overly collapsed. So if we think about the shape of your spine, we don't want to be in a banana shape, we want a nice straight arrow shape through our spine. So that will look like just finding a nice active sensation of length coming out from the crown of my head and coming out from my tailbone. So that should feel like something happens in here, maybe a little bit happens in here to do that, okay? So next thing that I'm going to think about, and I'm going to turn to face you to do that, so I'm going to think about how I'm balancing the front and back of my shoulders. Now some of you might have started a little bit narrow, some of you might feel that you're getting an active sensation of narrowing across your chest in order to achieve supporting yourself in hands and knees. So first of all, we want to make sure that we're broad enough that we've got a bit of space to work. We want to think about gently broadening this space in between each armpit. Now the way I like to think about it is I imagine I've got a big balloon underneath me, and that big balloon not only is actively pushing me up and away from the ground, but it's also just giving me a bit of buoyancy and a bit of little bit of a lateral push as well, just to help my shoulders to broaden and make me feel nice and buoyantly supported. Now that in itself should be enough to make you feel like you're using the back muscles a little bit. And for some of you, just staying there for a little while, you'll feel your triceps start to shake, you'll feel things starting to tremble because you're working muscles that you haven't worked for a while. So that's a good starting point. So finding that breadth across the front of your chest, feeling like you're actively pushing the ground away, and feeling like you're balancing muscles along the front of your arms and along the back of your arms equally when you're doing this movement or when you're holding yourself in that position. So that's balancing front and back. Balancing above and below the shoulder. So the vast majority of us will fall into a habit where we overuse our upper muscles and we underuse our lower muscles. So we've got some really important scapular stability muscles lower down around our ribcage. If we put a lot of load higher up, we're then compressing our neck, creating headaches, creating lower neck pain, creating lower neck stiffness, and that can all feed into our shoulder discomfort, shoulder pain experience. So when we're resting, we want to think about growing our neck as long as possible. So we imagine that we're a tortoise sticking its head out of its shell. We want to feel the back of our neck staying as long as possible, so no creases along the back of our neck. That in itself should then make it feel like you're actively pressing away from your lower rib cage, and it should make you feel that you're actually starting to activate some muscles around here as well. So that will help you to balance, taking away that habit of shortening your neck, finding length through your neck, and asking your shoulder blades to work off your rib cage as well, will help you to balance above and below the shoulder. So that might look like from the side. I might start here, and then just going to think about finding length through my neck, finding a long back of neck, and then my shoulders will feel like they're actively pressing up and away from around here. Okay? Now, if you've got that position where you're balanced front and back and balanced above and below, then we can challenge things. So I'm going to imagine I've got a little laser pointer on my chest. I'm going to draw some side to side, forwards and backwards, and circular lines with that little laser pointer in between my hands. So that might look like moving forwards and backwards, side to side, and circles. If I want to challenge even more, I can tuck my toes. Can I hover? And can I hover without falling back into bad habits again? So can I stay buoyant? Can I stay with a long neck? Can I stay nice and broad across my chest? Can I then hover and do my forwards and backwards? Can I do my circles? Okay. We can then take ourselves out into a toe plank and challenge ourselves in the same way. So all of these are making us work that little bit harder, work your way through the progressions as you're able to, listen to what your body's able to cope with, and at what point it starts to compensate and fall back into old habits. If you've been in those habits for a little while, if you're in pain, if you're only just starting out on your journey of rehabilitating your shoulders, you may find you need to check in every couple of repetitions or every few seconds with, am I still broad? Am I still working in a balanced fashion? As you get more used to this, you should be able to feel when you fall back into bad habits again. But initially, just keep checking in, keep asking questions of your body, keep on listening to where your body is. And things like a mirror, filming yourself exercising, can also give you some really good feedback as well. So have a play with this, have a play around with how it feels in your body, have a play around with what challenges you, what's the appropriate amount of challenge for you, for where you are at this point in your rehabilitation. As always, any questions, any queries, any problems, you can always just drop me an email and I will aim to help. So have fun with that and take care. Bye.